A lot of sciencey stuff. All right. So,
Kind of near the sewer.
No, it was right here.
you say you don't need to go back. I'll take the 33 just out of the space.
It was right here.
You got it again?
No, now it's 0.0.
Imagine that.
It moved.
Welcome to my world, Gowdy. I don't think I need to follow up because I normally follow up with the EMF detector to kind of go through a better explanation, but you've got it. So I'm going to show Miss Shelley how to use her device a little bit further. So everybody else, keep in mind, it's a depth perception camera and you're pointing it directly at a wrought iron gate.
Oh.
See the gate where it's going to pick up what's in front of other things? Yes. So with your camera, what it's doing, oh, by the way, you and David cannot point your cameras at each other. The reason why, David, for example, let's
Don't
go
put it
ahead and
at
point that. So point your camera to the ground, and then David, film what's on the ground right now.
Hit 40.
Can you see like the square that's coming out of her camera? It looks like a square of dots.
I do not.
Interesting. It might be because of the motion like behind us.
Probably.
Point your camera up a little bit this way.
No, but I mean before, from 72 down to 60 something, and then back up to 72.
What is that scribble sticky thing?
So what it's doing right now is it's picking up your shadow.
Oh, really?
Because it's an absence of light. So whatever's in front of something else, that's where you always constantly have to look up, look down, look up, look down, so that way you can see like what is it picking up. When I do a lightening up of this, the first thing I noticed was you have a wrought iron gate over there with a lot of things in front of another thing. So physical objects that you can see like that, it's going to pick things up as far as depth perception. So with your camera, I'm always trying to like, what is that? What is that? What is that? That's right. Yeah, go ahead and get yourself unmuted and start listening in. Just start asking your questions. You should be already hitting that button, like your button should have turned to a square. Left, so when it's a square, it's recording. Don't pay attention to the time.
She said, what happened to the mansion? What happened?
What happened to the mansion? Keep getting 608 and 08 and 608. Wanna listen? Huh?
Oh yeah, I forgot you can't multitask.
Well, let's try it. Zooms in.
Go through all this stuff.
Mush.
I saw the jump, and then I looked at the temperature. Yeah.
Try it now. A little louder. A little louder.
Hang on, we'll just look. There we go.
spaces. Alright,
We'll probably ask a specific question, like, how old was she when she died? Hmm?
You had what, 628 before?
Yeah,
628?
628, this was 806. Gas and didn't even like.
Start asking stuff so I can catch.
Oh, okay. I don't know. Oh, okay.
Oh.
I know she's probably multitasking quite a bit right now because everyone's asking her questions, but she could just cut in real fast and clarify what age she passed away.
And for what reasons, and if she wants to explain.
Ideally, but I don't want to be rude.
Well, really, what did you enjoy doing most here in Charleston? How did you avoid the heat?
So I assume it would get annoying being asked how you died all the time.
Yes.
You know? So, like, I don't know.
How did you live? What did you do?
Yeah, what did you enjoy?
Did you go on the lake? Did you have a boat to get around? What was your favorite dish? What's your favorite time of the season? The World Cup.
Everyone loves soccer. Maybe she just really liked music. Maybe she was just a big fan.
Did you like winters in Charleston? Did you travel a lot?
Shows up on that box often. Anything else?
The rapture took place. You heard that?
Yeah, I did hear that. A little ominous of her.
Why did the rapture take place?
Did you consider your death a rapture?
Do you have any lasting regrets you'd like to amend?
Or we could totally change gears. What president was your pallbearer?
Yeah, that sounds pretty cool.
I was gonna say,
Like, who was even president then? Monroe?
Did you hear that? You said Monroe and they went, yup.
That's why I kind of give that whole spiel. Make sure we got everybody.
Well, because I know that's the way, like, my religious practice, you don't just ask for something. It has to be, like, an excuse.
Right. You're absolutely right. But you also have to remember, I've been visiting these spaces for a long time.
I assume you do your own, personal connection with them that validates this more.
I would tell you, I leave, because I live almost an hour from here.
Oh,
So
really?
I leave my house at 7 o'clock, I get down here at 8 o'clock, and as I'm smoking my pipe in my garage, I always speak to who I'm about to go visit. So whether they can hear me or not, I still do it, and I always stop at the Pinckney Mansion site every night before I meet you guys. That is always, I cut through there, just talk to Eliza, let her know how many people I'm going to bring through, that kind of thing.
And that
so
makes
we're going
me
to stop here.
feel better on a personal level, just because I know that's like where my family lives. It's the same. Like when we moved in, we bought a house, and there were things on the property that were not happy because we were just tramping around and changing things, and it responded accordingly. And now there's actually a respect system in place, and it's much better.
You should talk about the things you've seen.
We will.
Eventually.
Anything being heard, go ahead and mute that up for me if you don't mind. Anything that was heard along the way.
Beard.
It sounded
What was
like bears or beers.
We'll take Beard. How far away was that
Right
from
by
here?
the Bear's Cookies place. It came in like really
I said
clear.
maybe it was birds.
But it was like right
That's
as we
weird.
were right there.
Well, the only reason I ask is because there actually is Blackbeard history here. Blackbeard actually raided Charleston looking for medicine for his syphilis from one of his 14 wives.
All-star.
They came to one of the richest cities that we had at the time, so they came in and raided and blockaded the harbor, the whole 9 yards. Like, it was a big deal. We do get clues to Blackbeard from time to time. I don't think I've ever had anything come through in that specific location. I know where Birds is. It was clear.
Wow. I don't know what's over there.
Interesting. We'll see if something else pops up around him, and I'll be convinced. Is that fair?
Yeah.
Again, I'll take your word for it at this point, but until we have something else that pops up specific about him, birthday, real name, so forth and so on, that's normally what we'll get. Definitely cameras on in here. Be discreet. Again, people will be coming out of the ivy wall. If they do cut through here, we'll split the seas and let them pass through, or let them take their spot. I'm kind of glad that there's nobody here right now. So Kim, with yours, I mean, you literally can hold that thing at your side, still focus on me, and we can have footage of the entire alley from the entire time that we're here. So you can just relax and hold it comfortably. Hold it from the top.
Okay.
There you go. Nope, other way, because now we're getting a little. And you've swiped, there you go, and you've swiped it. So, let's go back to our green screen. And then just stop it. Because his camera's going to show it purple, and then that way it goes. So yeah, you're just going to hold it so it faces down the alley, just like that. And you can rest it comfortably, so that way we can see whatever comes up. Alright, so with yours, I mean, if you want to rest comfortably the same way, so just have it pointed one way or the other, that's not directly on you. There you go, perfect. Look at you, being all discreet. Love you guys. Did you hear anything along the way? I know we were kind of chatting, nothing coming up. Alright, so, just make sure your numbers are spinning on there like normal. Okay, so make sure you're still good. She is the one that's been altered. Did you hear anything along the way?
A lot of Dolly Parton.
A lot of Dolly Parton. Remember, I don't care that you heard Dolly.
Nothing
All right, perfect.
interesting about her.
I hate to say I'm going to ignore the numbers you gave me because I expect those.
Yeah.
The crosswalks are going to give off a lot of EMF.
Oh.
So, again, I expect those. So, welcome to Philadelphia Alley, everybody. So, this used to be called Duelers Alley. This is where some of the duels used to occur for the city of Charleston. So I say some because it was illegal back then, and they had to find their spot. This was one of those spots. We all talk about the same duel, but we're not doing campfire and marshmallow stories tonight, are we? We're not at a normal ghost tour. I'm going to give you a little bit more detail because you guys are ghost hunting. You're going to need those details for what you're listening for. So, here's how the story goes. A doctor moves down here from Rhode Island. His name is Dr. Joseph Brown Ladd. You Spirit Box people actually hear the song Brown Eyed Girl while we're down here. It's not coincidence. It's part of his name. We get it often. Anyway, he moves down here because he's supposed to get married to his fiancée, Amanda. Amanda just inherited a bunch of money from her dead parents. She has an attorney helping her out with all of this cash. The attorney thinks that Dr. Ladd is just after her cash. So he tells her, get rid of the doctor. So he comes to Charleston to prove that he's not after her money. So, as he's coming into town, the coachman set him up to be robbed and killed. It wasn't a good start to his stay in Charleston. Is she okay?
She just sees something.
Well, somebody was moving down there.
Oh.
Somebody just went into the
I was like, I don't know what she sees.
There was a person moving down there. So, understandable. Sorry, debunked. I know you're all thinking the same thing I am.
No,
I've
I've never seen her react to a ghost, so I don't think she's seen that. I keep looking and I don't see it.
I think our dog's too dumb to see the ghost.
Our dog is haunted.
The dog is haunted. Awesome. So, back to Amanda and the doctor. So, somebody was walking by and seeing that Dr. Ladd was about to be robbed and killed from this coachman, and his name was Ralph Isaacs. I stopped on Ralph for a second because he has the same initials as where the doctor came from. Rhode Island, Ralph Isaacs. The letters RI were showing up on your spirit boxes, and I do have a digital Ouija board. That's a new device that was just invented last year. We call it an envoy. I don't bring it out every night because it's not as productive as what we're using tonight. I normally only bring that out with the larger groups from 10 to 11 people, just to kind of see what we're going to get out of it. But the reason why I use it is because I'm looking for those letters RI, considering we've got it on your style of spirit box before, from a DJ that just says RI, like he's spelling something. But two different characters, we need a secondary clue so we know who it belongs to. You guys get the point. Anyway, back to Ralph. He tells the doctor, dude, you don't want to stay here. I know this guy. He's going to try to kill you. Come with me. You can come. We're going to go to 59 Church Street, and you can rent a room from some friends of mine. The doctor took him up on the offer. They became friends. The longer the doctor stays here, the more money he's making. He's proving his point that he wasn't after Amanda's money. She gets wind of this. She's moving down. They're going to get married and live happily ever after. Dr. Ladd became known as the Whistling Doctor. this is the 1780s where men actually whistled when they were happy. What I will also tell you is that every haunted city you're ever going to visit is going to have a cliched whistling ghost. So it might be his hat too, by the way, because it's you guys wear similar hats, so I don't know. Not sure. She's good. Yeah. It could be the camera.
I'm okay. It's okay. I'm okay.
All right, perfect. So just want to make sure she was good.
Yeah, she too.
Lost my train of thought. Oh,
Whistling doctor.
whistling doctor. So cliched whistling ghost at every haunted city you're ever going to visit. We all have one, just so you know. But we actually have proof of this one, so I'm going to get to that. Again, I wouldn't lie to you. So Ralph and the doctor go see plays together. They can't sit next to each other because the doctor makes more money. He gets better seats. That's just the way the hierarchy is here in Charleston at the time. So they used to talk about these plays on the way home. They went to go see Richard III one night, and then they're arguing on the way home over the new actress that was here in town. Dr. Ladd thought she was great. Ralph didn't. The argument turns into Ralph insulting the doctor's fiance back home in Rhode Island. It gets very ugly. They went their separate ways. Ralph, as you know, lived here for a long time and had friends. He goes to his friends at the newspaper, puts an ad in the paper telling the whole city of Charleston what he thinks of the doctor after his argument. Like, you're a disgrace to society kind of mentality. Kind of, defaming him. Dr. Ladd saw the ad, but rebutted with, let's go to Dueler's Alley. We're going to settle this once and for all, and somebody's going to die. So they came down, they took their 10 paces, they turned, the doctor pointed his gun in the air, and he shot. He didn't want to kill his friend. He just needed the courage and bravery to show up to the fight, which was often what happened at a duel, by the way. Not everybody dies. But Ralph has his one bullet, and puts it in the kneecap, in the doctor. Dr. Ladd drops to the ground, his friends picked him up, took him home to 59 Church Street, where he dies 10 days later, on November 2nd of 1786. So, as he was waiting to die, he also refused medical treatment. You have to remember that this guy is a doctor, and in 1786, gunshot wounds were a lot different back then. He probably tried to bleed out the lead poisoning himself. So, kind of keep that in mind. That is speculated. So, every ghost tour down here will tell you, listen for the whistles. You guys hear how quiet it is right now? It's always like this, no matter what. We do get some air conditioners that'll be running, but it is always this quiet, even on a busy Saturday afternoon on East Bay Street in King. You can barely hear it over here. It's the weirdest thing. However, you don't need to listen for the whistles right now. We're running 3 cameras plus my voice recorder, so you can listen for it later and see what happens. If you're going to come down here on your own and try to go all the way through, turn on your voice recorders and kind of see what you get. Keep in mind, every local knows this story. So anybody walking up and down Cumberland Street or Queen Street is going to throw a whistle down the alley. I do it every night, and I do it because I actually got kicked out of here. So I don't know who these folks are, but hopefully they're not neighbors, because I actually got kicked out of here by one of the neighbors. I actually tell you that story, so let's kind of get into that slowly. As these folks walk by. Are you worried about their dog coming through?
She's not at this point, but
I got a map 820 if that means anything.
Yeah, we might have a little. Do we need to move?
Duel.
You
no,
just,
I am
there is a duel going on right now.
what other stories.
Right. So we'll just kind of silently wait for them to come through. Are you hearing anything coming out of there? Nothing? Andrea, you got anything?
Matthew 820.
8:20 in the map.
Like the proverb or whatever.
Gotcha. I understand. Sometimes it actually means something too. We've gotten that before.
You told me to mute this, right?
Yes. Hello, folks. Or he told you his name.
You know his name.
Because didn't you hear the name Dominic earlier? Or somebody? Yeah.
I had it.
Yeah, I thought so. Maybe the dog's name is Dominic. Who do we know? But anyway, so I actually got kicked out of here. Let's get into that. That's fun.
Heck yeah.
So Nick getting in trouble. So this alley didn't always go all the way through that way. There was actually a wall up there. And that's the reason why, is because this is where they kept the livestock for the city of Charleston. It used to be called Cow Alley before it was Dueler's Alley. So again, you can see bricks on the other side of this alley, all the way down that end, are older than the ones we're standing on. Those bricks were sun-dried bricks from slave children. There's one full handprint from a slave child down at the end, along with some fingerprint swipes. November 26th, 2020, I was new at this still, and I took my group all the way through like I normally do, but I treat that brick the same way I do a grave. That kid's not there. That's the last place you're going to find him. However, my entire group of 10 is huddled around that brick, waiting for something to happen.
Oh, how sweet.
Yeah, well, not funny, because I'm trying to shoo them along, because I'm trying to be respectful, because it's right outside the kitchen window of the beautiful mansion at the end of the alley. I didn't know I was out of bounds. I I was still new at this. The new owner came out yelling. My daughter thought it was great because Dad's getting yelled at. So the next day was Thanksgiving. I don't work Thanksgiving. I worked in retail management for over 20 years, mainly for Walmart. Higher management. So you guys gotta understand why I'm never working Thanksgiving again in my life. So the day after that was November 28th. I called my partner up that I had at the time and I told him what happened. He said, dude, you can't go that far. You gotta only take your folks halfway or reroute the group. So I decided I'm gonna just stay out of trouble because I'm new and I'm gonna reroute the group. What I told my team was I've never had anything happen at the next location. I've been there dozens of times. No activity occurs there. And I also don't believe in the story. It's a pirate story and I'm a vampire guy. So before we left, somebody heard the name Anne on a spirit box. I didn't tell them who we were going to be investigating. The famous female pirate Anne Bonny. So I went, well, hot damn, maybe we will have something. We get down there and I told them the little bit of research I was able to do that day, and it was very little. Somebody else heard the number 300. I don't know what that means in real time. I write it down, the research the next day. We were there November 28th of 2020. Anne Bonny's trial for piracy, November 28th of 1720. We were there on the exact 300-year anniversary of her pirate trial. So I went, damn it, now I got to learn about pirates. Here's my problem with pirates. I'm a writer. I have a master's degree in creative writing. I need facts and details. Pirates are pirate lore. It is very difficult to piece together a factual investigation based on pirates. Everything we're going to be discussing at the next location will hopefully be bleed over from here that you guys are going to be hearing, but everything I mentioned will be coming from a minimum of 2 resources. Just know that. Worst case scenario, because this is a hit or miss location, and Bonny is said to be seen all over town based on the relativity of the space. But the hope is that she's going to be there at the exact same time that we will. So hopefully we get bleed over from this location into our pirate story at the next location, but it is a crazy ass story. We're talking a female pirate on the run. So again, I mean, you can see how this can get a little hairy. And I have to kind of watch my tone when there's little kids on the tour because it can get very, we'll just say sexual. So
feel free to let loose with
I'm
us.
going to. You guys are a pretty nifty group. All right, so now that our dog filler is out of the room, I also tell you about the gate behind me, which is part of the reason why we stopped here. And it kind of shows you how I put clues together. Remember that the alley didn't go all the way through this way. There was a wall up there. Right. So if there was a loser to the duel, this gate wasn't here, but the archway was. This was the shortcut to get to the cemetery on the other side of the wall. Otherwise, they'd have to go all the way down to Queen Street with a dead body, dead weight, and bring it all the way back up and around. Double the steps. So they created the archway. I call this the death gate. The wrought iron was probably put there in the early 1900s based on the ironwork of it. But the archway has always been there. So again, you can see where I can put the cow alley to Dueler's alley to today and kind of piece all of those things together to kind of show you like how this actually went down. So, any other major questions about dueling? Did we hear anything crazy while we were here? I know, Carlicia, you're muted, so you're out of the loop.
Surgery and full bottle of liquor, and that's it.
Kind of like the surgery piece. We're talking about a doctor, right?
That's what I was thinking.
So it's vague, but it's definitely a medical term, right?
Yeah.
So we're looking for more specifics. So hopefully those are going to pop up in the next location. All right, let's go talk pirates. You guys ready for this? It's rated R. Anybody got my
Ready
joke?
for R.
We're going to go this way.
That's a you joke.
Did it again.
Did you guys cross paths earlier and not know it? You got over there? What? Okay, we're talking pirates. Somebody got one. So yeah, definitely keep yours running and maybe do a suitcase deal while we're in here. We're going to be spreading out after I give you the history. Anybody else hear anything here? Nothing?
Yeah, remove the weight from the joint.
So, that's why I do it this way. Remember, listening to those radio stations, Debra, with yours at this front half over here. So it was caught in real time. So where are we? We're at the power magazine. So at the little tiny building over there with the crosses on it. I'm going to point out those are not crosses. I don't think anybody's from here, so you have no idea what those are. They're earthquake bolts. Earthquake bolts are turnbuckles. So basically, if we have another earthquake like what we did in 1886, you can turn those turnbuckles. It tightens the building back up so it doesn't incur any further damage. I bring that up because it's part of the reason why we're here, but you should know that that idea of earthquake bolts doesn't actually work. Californians laugh their asses off at me every time I have them on the tour because they know it doesn't work.
I'm a structural engineer, but can confirm.
So, they do not work. But I bring it up because those are the first set of earthquake bolts that Charleston ever put in. Why? It's the oldest government building in South Carolina. It was finished in 1713. We are here because this building was being constructed at the same time that Anne Bonny came here to start a new life. This is what I call a familiar. You guys all watch the TV shows and you've seen them use a teddy bear to attract the child ghost. This is the same type of principle. The child would recognize the teddy bear as a toy, something to play with. Anne Bonny would recognize this because it was here when she was. We don't have many buildings this old. This is why she is said to be seen all over town. You guys get my point, right? In one evening. So just so you guys have that inclination of who this young lady is. Fast forward. Building's done in 13. By 1715, pirates are starting to come through Charlestown. Anne is stoked. The reason why, she's going to fall in love. So that way she can earn her freedom just like a man. So again, it's a man's world at this point. First guy she falls in love with, and yes, I said first because there is a handful, and we're going to go through all of them. So, first guy is James Bonny. You already see where this one's going. Dad didn't approve, filthy pirates, they ran away to Jamaica, got married, and Cormac is now Anne Bonny. That's where the name comes from. However, her new husband, James Bonny, is not Captain Jack Sparrow like what she was hoping for. This guy turns out to be a privateer. He's just fighting for it. This is not what she wants. She wanted an active pilot. Years later, she falls in love again. This is John Rackham, a.k.a. Calico Jack. This is the guy they based your Johnny Depp character off of, in case you guys were wondering. This guy has his own ship, and wants to be part of it. You can't put a girl on a pirate ship. Does anybody know why? Think family friendly. Okay, everybody's thinking dirty thoughts. It's because it's bad luck. So, again, I try to keep it simple, but as always there, that's kind of funny. But anyway, he makes a deal with her. If you just like a guy and look like the crew, you can be part of it. But you're going to be a female in my quarters. She's okay with this. Why? Dad used to cross-dress her as a boy back home in Ireland. Boy apprentice to hide her from his wife. A prominent English woman where you need to kind of tiptoe with your questions, poke the barrier. Let's get some answers out of Anne. I also left out the name of the city of where she grew up in Ireland and the color of her hair. So if you want to explain other minor details about her, by all means, go for it. But we're going to spread out here and kind of see what happens. Again, hit or miss. I know within 5 minutes what's going on with the spirit boxes and the camera work. And I may have to wrap it up early, but you got a crazy pirate story to take on. So let's do this. Get yourself unmuted. You might as well keep cutting through. Let's do this.
How did Anne bounce from the hanging?
So she said she heard Mary Jane.
Because she got, her dad paid the bill.
Oh. You just pay that off?
Huh?
I mean, I can just do that now, but...
Yeah, I was going to say, especially back in the day.
Clear icon.
Huh?
Clear icon.
True. I think she's a redhead, but I think I just know that. Like, I think that's just a fact rattling around in my brain.
Oh, like you didn't manifest that.
Huh?
Like you didn't manifest it. I'm gonna read about Anne Bonny now.
Hmm?
I'm gonna keep this rolling and read about Anne Bonny.
Don't tell me anything. No, be active, move around.
I am. I already did the whole lap.
That's the whole point. You gotta keep doing laps. I heard Claire and Charles.
Claire and Charles.
And I keep getting like feminist power songs.
That rules.
I'm getting like, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
A lot of Florence in the Machine.
And Little Dancer by Elton John, and also that like Can't Take Us On. Like I'm getting a lot of feminist power anthems now.
Rad. It's funny, it's the only thing I knew about.
I got mariachi for a second.
The only reason I knew Anne Bonny to begin with was the name of a Death Grips song. Which
Hate that.
is one of the best ones, honestly.
Oh, dude, it's like he's 50s. He looks great.
What?
Yeah.
Ain't no way, bro.
0622 at some point, but it was just a phone number, I think.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's still numbers. Numbers and names
Numbers
usually
are
go by.
numbers.
Yep.
And then I think I know her hair color, but I think that's just something I must know in the back of my brain.
It's red.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I was like,
Irish.
pretty sure. I mean, that's part of why I dye my hair red.
Because of Anne Bonny.
No, just because cool bitches in history always have red hair.
Red hair and green eyes. And
Yep.
she's an Irish woman.
Yep.
I do want to pull you away from this very expensive car just in case somebody's going to go to it to get reared out.
Fair enough.
A lot of weird chemicals.
Ooh,
A lot of weird blood.
I heard a whole lot of weird. I didn't hear the other part. I'm trying to find where the little spinny part went. How do I turn you up? I feel like me and Ann would have a good time at a bar.
If you could get rid of the stench, get rid of the smell. Oh, my earbud came out. It's in my ear. God damn.
Like stuck in your ear?
Yeah. That rules. That's a good question, though.
And how was lesbian sex in the olden days?
Was it even sex at that point, or was it just some kind of making out?
I could scissor.
I guess.
We got fingers.
Those dirty pirate fingers.
Yeah.
Truly, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
I just want to know how she adapted after being a pirate, like doing cool badass things and then retiring. Was that
with a family?
like was that good or was it bad?
Were you like Rose in Titanic, just remembering that one digging down?
And was it worth retiring, or do you wish you could have just stuck with it?
Dr. Ladd and or anything going on with Anne Bonny, which is why I ran pretty quickly. I'll explain the next location we're going to after we cover the very short answers of the questions that I gave you. So,
Belly.
yeah, that's an understatement. So, this is one of the few pictures of Andrea.
The gallows. Hillary.
It's cool the building's still there.
The Hillary Clinton.
The powder magazine. Oh, look how beautiful.
Mm.
It did. It said Northern
White's
Europe.
cottage. White.
Yeah, but iron was
Watch out, y'all. Someone on the bike. Beauregard.
I was gonna say. Don't fall. Step forward. Vindicated. Hope. Home. Like the last one. 25. And not here.
back up. Like, she did not like what she saw.
Wow. Okay.
Are you going to be a ghost hunting dog?
Maybe. Let's give her a job later.
Oh, it's right here, right? That's me.
Yeah, so it's 2-ply. Just think of it as you're just going to peel it apart like it's...
Oh.
There you go. All right. You guys ready to go learn the history while she gets this all set up? We're going to go over, we're going to take 10 steps this way.
Oh, you're just holding it. What? You are just wrapped.
Yeah, this is where I'm first.
While I'm blindfolded and listening to the spare box.
Take you to dinner.
Oh gosh. I like how she got all excited because apparently this is the only ghost that's been particularly cooperative.
Yo, Kimberly.
Tim Yard. Wait, no, he said he's shy. We should probably think.
Him on the spectrum is like me.
Huh?
Him on the spectrum like me.
No, I'm just fucking different.
No one on the spectrum just like me.
Okay, I have my things. How do I do this? How do I put on the phone? No, I'm gonna do that. That's the whole thing. Get out of here.
Get out of here.
Oh!
No, No, this is a nice little pretty square.
I can't hear you. Hang on.
Aren't you jealous?
What?
And then you gotta put on the over ears.
He said I don't have to do that quite yet until they get back, but okay.
Oh, so you can hear me.
Where do you get like mass blindfolds like this? Like, what is the need for this?
It seems very tight.
No, it's comfy because it's stretchy.
Mm.
Okay, I gotta get in the zone. Auto zone. Get back.
Oh. What the fuck?
Huh?
Look at this.
What?
I got a
You got a missed call from who?
political call.
Oh, probably just people look.
I've never gotten one of these. Ever. Like that says political call. That's weird.
You're distracting me.
I wonder if that means anything. I'll go ask. You good to stay here? Was this 10 person in any way politically affiliated?
Not really. What did we get?
I got an interesting thing called political call on my phone, and that I've never gotten one of these ever.
This late to boot.
Yeah.
That's very weird. I can see it.
Yeah,
All right, let's get her tapped out for a second. Go ahead and tap her leg for me, and let's get her out of there because I got to give her a few tips before she. We're going to crowd in even closer, just so you guys know. So whatever angle you guys want to.
No.
I think I'd be okay from this
I'm
angle.
going to be keeping an eye on your breathing. Like I said, David will tap your leg when I'm ready to tap you out. This is the only part of our time together, just so everybody knows that I actually keep track of the time, and that's only because any further than that, it's going to be very disorienting, which you've already probably seen for the past 2 to 3 minutes that you've had all the gear on. So, I'm going to be asking you random questions. Obviously, you can use yes/no answers if you hear them. This is probably the only instance where I would accept a yes/no answer, especially if I know the answer to the question. So, when you come out, do not get up. You may be a little bit more disoriented than you would normally expect. It's not going to feel like you're going to be under for 10 minutes. You might think we're pulling you out early for some odd reason. That's not the case.
Okay.
You guys are getting the point of why we're doing this, right? All right. So, again, have you guys seen this on your TV shows?
No.
Some of them do it, some of them don't.
Yeah,
I've only
there's
seen it
a
on
blonde and a young kid that do this quite often.
Okay.
I don't know what their names are.
Okay. All right. So, I do want to definitely
Well,
keep it
young
full
could be
circle. So, if
30s.
we can have you two stand up, I'd like to keep everything nice and huddled around. So, again, even if you wanted to get up so you're not arm angling it, that's perfectly fine too. But again, blindfolding people in the dark isn't always a safety thing. So, once you get started, you kind of already have the gist of how to put all your gear on comfortably. I will start a timer, and you can start repeating, and make sure you're giving us what you hear in real time. Okay, so, and oh, by the way, we can hear you. Whisper.
Yep,
Please.
I'm not going to yell. You're good.
Everybody wants to yell because they can't hear. So, All right, let's do this. For the rest of you, just keep track. Like, I don't write anything down during this, so I can stay focused on the questions. A lot of times I may ask real-time questions as well. Things about like, hey, what's going on with colors of my shirt? What's going on with the church? You guys get into it. So again, I don't keep track. I do watch this full video later on, which is why I'm having David film the whole thing, because that way I can actually see when actually things are happening. So she's already spinning, and it is, now that she's under, 11:03. Let's get her some volume. Probably hearing us a little bit. Okay, perfect. All right, so I'm gonna make sure she's playing with the volume right now.
Charleston. The first.
Okay, she's getting right into it. So, Henry Timrod, I want you to, you know it's me, Nick. I want you to first tell me what your occupation was, please. We're going to start there.
Ambitious.
You weren't very ambitious.
Stayed out of trouble.
Yes, you did. So, Henry, please tell us what your occupation was. Henry Timrod. If there's somebody else here with you, please state your name. Please state their name or how many people are here with us tonight. That number, just so everybody knows. I don't know why or who it is, but it's always Henry Timrod. This is Andrea. She can hear you. She's the one wearing the blindfold and the funny things over her ears. That's how she's able to hear you. You know how this works. We've been doing this for over a month now. Please tell us your occupation.
Uplifting.
Try again.
Heard you.
Right. We can hear you too. You just need to tell us what the answers are to the questions that I'm asking. Please tell us your occupation.
The enemy is talking.
I am not your enemy.
My father glorified.
That's interesting. Why don't you tell us about your father? What was his name?
Remain unheard.
Oh, your poetry has been resounding through the country based on what you've been writing. Tell us about your father. You mentioned him. We're near St. Michael's Church.
Outside.
That's common. Henry Timrod, what was the name of your father?
That's right.
Did you name your son after your father? Did you name your son after your father? Did I poke a...
Just before 20.
Son died on the 23rd.
What are you gonna do?
Oh, you waiting for me to ask the question? You're not answering anything specifically. What do we normally hear out of the church? What sound do we normally get?
You did not get one.
Not tonight, not right now. But you told us last night. Can you tell us that again? What sound normally comes out of the church?
Light flows.
What sound do we get out of the church? It's been 4 minutes, just so everybody knows.
What matters?
Henry Timrod, I've asked you a lot of questions about your father, your son, your occupation, and St. Michael's Church.
We were on the same road.
You can answer any of those questions at this point, since I've asked so many.
Turn around and somebody wake up.
Please tell us the name of your son, Henry Timrod. you are here with us, tell us something specific about you, your family members. You told me quite a bit about your wife last week. Very impressive stuff you gave us.
Uplifting and supportive.
It's the second time she's at uplifting.
Mm-hmm.
Everything.
Henry Timrod, tell us about your wife. What was her name?
No, it was my dog. Sorry.
It's okay.
It was just
You're
my
good.
dog.
You're good. Henry, we have an animal here with us tonight. Can you tell us what type of animal we have laying here with us? Her name's Cayenne. What type of animal
A
do we have?
team helped. Grandma.
Henry Timrod, something simple. Are you from Charleston?
Young man.
Henry, we've asked a lot of questions.
Drank.
We're running out of time. You haven't answered anything directly.
.46 Mark.
He was 38 when he died. Henry Timrod, I'm getting a little disappointed. Do you want to give us anything specific about your life?
You
What about me? 7 minutes.
only want.
I'm looking to learn more about your life.
It reminds us of God.
I pay you respect every night while we're here. I'm also a writer, as you know, and have been reading your poetry. I'm learning more about you with every clue you give us. But it has to come from you directly. That is my process of researching and writing.
The Republic. Keep my commandment.
What sound do we normally get out of the church?
The wheelhouse. Now you're that wrapped up.
Henry Timrod, is there other people here with you, aside from us filming everything?
That doesn't lie.
How many people are here with you?
Stay away.
I don't want to stay.
Only your friends.
Henry, how many other people are here with you, and who are they?
Calm. And he rises.
So I'm going to call this one because this has been pretty much a dud, just so you guys know. David, go ahead and tap her out if you don't mind.